welcome, welcome. Those of you who are going to watch it later, welcome. This was a live from Virginia, USA. I'm Sherifa Nakalema, and we are revisiting an important topic on this channel. Only today I want to handle it a little bit different. That's the topic of gratitude, being grateful. I think that's, sorry. I think that's the topic I've handled the most. Oh, I'm so sorry. I have something on here that was playing. Sorry about that. So, when you look through my videos, but I have almost 800 videos, can you imagine? When you find most videos, like when I talk about success habit, gratitude is always number one. Gratitude is always number one, but I emphasize being grateful for what we have. Being grateful for what we have. Today, I made them three levels of gratitude. It just came to my thought. I said, you know what? You know, we're advancing. If you're close to me, I'm learning and I'm sharing. These days I speak a little bit different because of I'm learning. I keep adding on. We're going to talk about three. And you know already, only when I name them, you see what I mean. And one of them is very, very important. We need to take care of it like today. Okay? So let me first say, welcome in the chat. Oh, Janet is in the house. Why did you distract it? Robert is in the house. Salma is in the house. Let's see. Welcome. Where are my people? There is one with the name. We'll call it what? The people here, they have unique names. But then if you want to know about unique names, you go to TikTok. People name themselves. TikTok and WhatsApp, that's where people name themselves things. Okay, where is the person? Is it an honest person? Where is an honest person? I don't say an honest person in the chat. Okay, let's go back to gratitude. Welcome. I'm about to come to you. Today we are going to discuss. You know, sometimes I don't discuss. This one is a live schedule. Right now it's 12:30 a.m. So I intend to wait for you to wake up. I wait. Like last Friday we had one for USA. Those that would have, it's like 10 a.m. my time, 10 p.m. my time. This one is 12:30 a.m. So let's try to do them faster, right? Time is limited. I'm saying three levels of gratitude, right? The first one is, remember I said all this time I've been talking about what you have, be grateful for what you have. Now I'm saying be grateful for what already happened. Maybe you had. That's number one. Then number two is the regular one that I talk about, what we have and what's happening right now. And then the advanced level that I'm learning is to be grateful for what in the future, what you want to happen. Be grateful for it like it's already here. So we're going to go through all three. Now, be grateful for what happened is what I said is more urgent. In fact, I need to talk about that last because it's more urgent. I want it to be the front on your thoughts so that you go take care of it. So let's go to number two first. Be grateful for what's happening now. Your health, your eyes, your breath. The other day I posted something on TikTok and someone put a comment. I said, what are you grateful for? They said, your breath. You know, we take it for granted. Even fresh air itself. Have you been in a place where you try to breathe and you can't breathe? The air is so bad. That's when you'll appreciate the air, the good air. Here where I live, in Virginia, USA, they're very strict with the air. You cannot drive a car that brings out a little air in the exhaust. You don't. They say because they're close to the capital. I don't understand it. You could have a car you think is new. You got tested, it fails. They don't want their air to be like with anything. It's fresh, good air. So, air is good. You have the eyes. And then we go deep. We can go, I don't know if that's deep, but in detail. Like you having a phone with an internet connection. You know how many people don't have the phone? You could be surprised that here in USA, they are even passing laws to make sure areas get internet connection. So we have in USA areas that don't have internet connection. May that be surprising? It's a developed country. So you are blessed that have all these simple things. But we have the basics of shelter, of the food, of clothing, all that. Now we are in the present. The third one is the future. And now this one, you have to train yourself to learn how to do this one. Because you're going to write, and you know, when I talk about gratitude, I talk about a journal. Get a book, a little book. It will be a notebook. This one is big. Mine is over there on the other side. I will show you. It needs to be like small like this, or maybe long like that, but small, like you can carry it quickly. But then better to keep it in a place, like maybe for people who pray, like where you pray right there, that space, and you write these things down. Okay, you write what you're grateful for already. We say do that in the morning and evening. I don't want to go through this again because I say it a lot about the gratitude. You can find gratitude on my channel. I describe in detail how you do the current gratitude, right? But the future one is the one I want to mention. So, Janet, I'm on you. You tend to be grateful, have what will happen. Yes, thank you, you got it. Now, Janet, I'm going to ask you. We're going to use someone in the chat, what they want to happen. We're going to write it. It's not here yet, but we're going to write it, a statement for it so that it happens faster. Janet, what do you want? What's your big dream? I want to use it like an example here to show how you're going to be grateful for things that have not happened yet, to bring them to the subconscious mind. That's a new training. The subconscious mind, so you get it to happen faster. So Janet, I want to use your example. Put in the chat. What do you want to happen? Let's talk money. How much do you want to make a month? Do you want to put it in your shillings or American dollars? You put. Let's talk using money. Because most of us want money, right? But a few people don't want money, by the way. But many people want money. So let's use the example of money. And when I write this statement, you're going to use it to create your own. And if you keep repeating it and repeating it and repeating it, things are going to start shifting in your life because it's all to do with the subconscious mind. Today I didn't even link the Wesley Virgin. I should have put it here. When the video, when it becomes a video, this is the live, I put it in the pinned comment. You see an interesting video that's going to teach you how to attract what you want. Janet, I'm waiting. Where is your big dream? Let's use it as an example. Or someone else, those in the chat, can you please put your big dream? I want to write statements for you so you can write them. We are talking about gratitude of the future, of what has not happened yet. Are you there, Janet? Let me see. Oh, a normal person is here. Oh, okay. I was saying, but how would you choose of all names to call yourself a normal person? You know you are insulting all of us. So we are not normal. You're the only normal person. It's funny. Okay. Who else wants normal person? How much do you want to make? How much money do you want to receive? You don't make. You're not working, are you? Janet, I wanted to use your name, but I'm not seeing your response. You're not responding to me. Or I use my own example. Magala, Magala Wali, do you have amount you want to make? But I want it to be in dollars. Okay. Janet, I'm giving you one more second. Waiting, assume you're a normal person. I'm not working. Yeah, you are not working. Okay, what's your wish? Let me use a normal person. Janet took long. What's your wish? Let's use something else, not money. A normal person. Let me give you this chance. Let's use your example. Others will learn from it. What's your big wish, big dream? What do you want to happen? Let's say something you want to happen before the year ends, 2013. 2023. 2023. Before it ends, what do you want to happen in your life? Because you want to be grateful for it before it happens. It's all to do with subconscious mind. The subconscious creates these things. Okay, type it for me. And so when you are writing, I'm learning from Wesley these days, my big teacher. So when you are writing for something that you want, add in easily and effortlessly. And you know, for me, when I'm here, I don't like people who say billionaire. Billionaire of what? A normal person. You said you are not working. Now you want billionaire. Okay. No, change it. Change that one. We don't want to be in the... You're a billionaire of what? How much money, what currency are you using? Because if you're a billionaire of dollars and a billionaire of shillings is doable. It's easier than a billionaire of dollars. Please put something reasonable that you're going to make by the end of the year. You know, when you set goals, we say a goal has to be smart, specific, measurable, achievable, the achievable part. So if you're not working, you don't have a job today, how are you going to be a billionaire by the end of the year? You see what I mean? Please put a different answer. So when you are writing these statements, you're going to write them using these words: easily and effortlessly. Okay, are you changing it? Or I use mine? So let's assume you want to make, here in USA, when people are talking about making money online, they like to use 10,000 USA dollars. So that's the biggie. They say when you get to an achieve for 10,000. So let's use 10,000 as your future goal. Remember, I talked about 3 levels of gratitude. I'm going to end with the 3rd one. Gratitude of what happened already, gratitude of what is happening, like we talked about health and the eyes and all the things that are happening in your life, and then the future. We are now on the future. So when you are writing a statement for the future, you write it like it has happened already. That's a trick if you want it to happen faster. So if you use the example of 10,000 USA dollars a month, you're going to write it like this: I'm happy and grateful now. You know, Bob Proctor taught us how to use now. Now, people who study the brain, they say the brain doesn't know the difference between the past and the future. It only knows about now. So if you say now, things happen faster, okay? I'm happy and grateful now that I'm making, or I've made $10,000 every month, or I'm making $10,000 every month. You write it like it's already happening. It's already happening. Not I'll make 10,000. I've already made. I'm making, like that. So that's how you write it. Gratitude for the future. Write it in the present. I'm happy and grateful now that I'm making so much money. Put a number every month. I'm so happy and grateful now that I'm making $10,000 USA dollars every month. That would be for the future. You write it like it has happened. The reason why they want it like that is to create the feeling. They say if you can learn how to create the feeling that you have it already. I talk about this a lot. I feel like I shouldn't talk about this today. Like explaining gratitude, or like, okay, how you feel that you have it, the images, like the pictures. Create the picture that you already have. I like to give the example of a husband who wants a wife. I'm happy and grateful that I have a wife. I have a wife. Describe the wife, and you behave in the house. You are there alone, but you behave like the wife is there. Like when you sleep in the bed, they say sleep on one side. When you park in the garage, your 2 cars park on one side. And if like a lady who wants to have a baby, behave like there is a baby in the house. Prepare the room, everything. So that's could be weird, but actually it's called the law of attraction. So you behave like you are already that, whatever you want to happen. A doctor dressing like a doctor, but you're not a doctor yet. Like you dress up like you're a doctor, but you're a young person. Like impress the subconscious mind. I'm not an expert. I just learn from experts. So that's for the future. Now, remember I said there are 3 levels of... By the way, before I go to the 3rd one, because it's going to be the last thing, why is gratitude important? I have some notes here, and it's from a previous video that I recorded already about gratitude. Why is it so important to be grateful? Okay, I have 6 benefits, and I'm not explaining them. I put the video in the description of this one. When you go in the description, you see where I got these notes, because I discussed it in detail before. So there are 6. Number 1, When you're a grateful person, you have improved mental well-being. These were from experts. When I was discussing that, I was quoting where I was getting this information. Improved mental well-being. Number 2, reduced stress because you're a happy person when you're a grateful person. Number 3, enhanced relationships. That's the you see that's the other part, the one I'm going to discuss last. Enhanced relationships. Number 4, improved physical health. Number 5, increased resilience. Means you buffer against stress. That means if you're a grateful person, it's hard to be stressed. Like when the stress comes, the way you see, Eric Thomas talks about people who say, I have a bad day. He said, no, it's not a bad day, it's a bad moment. So it's up to you to make the bad moment become a bad day. But if you know how to handle this, for example, if the resilience part they're talking about, it's me just the way I understand it. If you are this kind of person who's grateful, you'll find, that's why they say, even if something is so horrible, find a good thing. In fact, Islam talks about, in Nama al-Isra, those who are Muslims, like the bad thing, there is always a good thing hidden. That's God saying. It's hidden, but you may not see it. If you just lost a person, how can a person who just lost a person say there is something good in that? Okay, I'll give an example when I talk about it. A person, think about a person, is a dad who just died and is very, very poor. I have an example actually about that. Very, very poor. And then when they bury the dad, the rich people decide to take the children. They say, I'll take the children, Well, the other day I was listening to on Zoom, they were taking the children. They say, give me one. The children end up getting a better life because the dad died. You see, a good thing comes out of a bad thing. Although they lost their dad, but then they end up with the rich people. That's an example. So if you have that kind of mindset, when you have, like Eric Thomas says, a bad day, like something happens, what would be a bad day, you see it very differently. So you call it, it becomes a bad moment. You say, oh, it's a bad moment. You move on faster, okay? So that's gratitude. It helps you with that. Number 6, enhanced self-esteem. Now, if you go in the video that I linked, we were going those one by one because I was referring some, normally I refer to experts. I have like a website where I'm reading things. I think that's what I did in that one. Robert, I'm happy and grateful. My name sounds hard. Someone put a funny message. You're happy and grateful. Your name is Haji Bumad. Okay, you're Haji Bumad. Haji Bumad means someone with a lot of money. Do you have it though? We are talking about having it. So say, I'm happy and grateful. A normal person. If you want billions, you can say a lot of money, but when you go into really attracting what we want it to be specific. Even saying billionaire is not good. Say, put the zeros. Okay, how many zeros do you want or whatever? It's because they say it's like in a catalog. When they teach these things, you say, really? Like, how you open a catalog? Or when you go, like, you pick things, you say, I like that, I like that, I like that. That we can train ourselves to really just choose what we want until we show up. Because it's called the subconscious mind. That's how it works. But the reason why we don't get it to work for us, we don't focus. We are scattered like this. We are thinking this, you're thinking that, you're thinking that. You are not specific. Like a normal person. Saying a billionaire, but being billions is not a good answer. You want it to have to be specific. So because when it's specific, can you imagine, he was giving an example, going to a McDonald's, and then you say, I want a burger. Okay, you need to describe it. You have to say what you want on the topping, what you want on this. You see? The same thing. We have to learn how to set things specific and then focus our mind. That's the one thing that's not happening these days. We are always on the phone. When you are always on the phone, the mind is gone. It's not doing what it's supposed to do. So we have to train ourselves to focus. That's why I recommend the Wesley Virgin course, because it's going to help you with that. Okay. The third category that I said I would say last is, let me go back here. Remember, to remind you, there are three. You are grateful for what happened already. You are grateful for what is happening, your life right now, and then you're grateful for the future. The future, you write it like it's already here. And then you start feeling it, imagining it. Like if it's a car, if it's a car you want to have, imagine yourself driving that car. In fact, they say, go to the dealership, act like we are buying it. They won't refuse. They give it to you. They even give you to drive. You drive, test drive. As long as you have a driver's license right here in America, they'll give you to drive. They don't know if you have the money. Cars are bought on loans anyway. They don't know if you qualify. So they give you to drive. So what you do, feel it, take a photo of it, like they take a picture of you on the steering wheel. You are attracting it into your world. Take that photo, put it everywhere. That's how they train, how you attract yourself, attract the things you want. Okay? So there are three. Let's talk about grateful for what happened already. What I mean happened already is in the past. It's in the past. It's not right now. It's in the past. Things like, while I'm talking about this part, is inspired the reason why I went back to gratitude today. Because I was thinking about the people, those people that we need to thank. Have you ever lost someone abruptly? Someone you care about, or someone it's shocking. Even if you're not so close to them, you've heard of people who died really quickly. Maybe it happened for you. It happened for me. She didn't die immediately, but she never spoke again. That was my friend and my beloved sister. She just had a stroke, and I remember the last conversation I had with her on the phone. So things that happen abruptly. That's what inspired me talking about this topic today. And please listen to me, because this affects all of us. Because all of us, at some point, were babies, right? Which means someone took care of us. Please, when I end this point, and that's where I will end, take action. Because we are going to go through a list of those people in your life, assuming they're still alive. If they're not still alive, you're going to go thank their people, whoever is alive over there. People who helped us to get where we are. And that's when I go to the chat. I'm going to go through a discussion of those people, starting from childhood. So many babies are not raised by their own parents. There are many babies. From baby, someone else did the work. If it was your parents that did it, they still deserve the thank you. Do you know what happens? Remember I talked about sudden death. People wait. Okay, we don't wait. It just happens that when someone dies, people are crying, and then they're saying all this and that, and then they have the speeches, and they talk about all the nice things. I was listening the other day to when Muhammad Ali died, and they were talking about him and the things he did. Why they say these things while he was still alive? You see what I mean? So let's change this. Let's tell the people while they're still alive. And if they're not alive, you can go talk to, for example, for us, our dad affected many people when he was alive. But you find people up to now who talk about him. They say, oh, he did this. So you can go to the family members, assuming the other one is not here anymore, and tell them, oh, your dad did this, your mom did this. You see what I mean? So let's go through it. Help me now. We're going to go through the childhood. When you are a baby, get out the pen and paper to remind yourself. If you didn't know, of course, when you're a baby, you don't know, right? Someone had to tell you. Who took care of you when you are a baby? You know, I mean baby. That's number one on your list. Write down. Please get a paper and write. Who took care of you as a baby? Okay, now you're moving along. Who took care of you? You know, Babies, when they are walking, there's someone who helps you to walk. You don't do it alone. Someone holds your hand to show you how to walk. Who did that for you? Go find out. Walking. Who showed you how to walk? Number 3. We're going to move like I'm not going. Okay. Who taught you, before you even went to school, who taught you something about numbers and letters? If you're like a religious person, Muslim, especially Muslim, who taught you your first letters? Like to read the Quran, who taught you the first letters? The first learning. Learning. Get a pen and paper. Learning. Who did that for you? How about the addition? 1 plus 1. People, before the children go to school, they already know something. So who is that person? Learning. Your first learning. Number 4. If you had to walk to school, to go to school, like you walk and go to school. Okay, my mom and siblings. Okay, that's good. Remember, we're going to get a paper. Get a paper list. We are still going on. It's a long list. We are moving slowly. Okay, you're now going to school, right? Who was taking you to school? Going to school, crossing those roads, if you are walking to school, crossing the road. And who was that holding your hand? Who was it? And right there, I skipped. Who was cleaning you up, giving you bath and all that? Who was that person? You may find that actually it wasn't your mom or your dad. It was someone else. So go do some research and find out. Now, you are going to school. Who was your favorite teacher? Do you remember? The teacher I loved the most at school? I remember the teacher I loved the most. Not like loved the most, but I looked at, like the lady who was teaching us like how to write. Those teachers, when they write the letters on the line, you think they're the best writers. Maybe they're not even good writers, but when you look at it, you say, oh my goodness, they did it perfectly. Who was that teacher who maybe sometimes held your hand to show you how to write? Those teachers are very special. So teachers, let's find the teachers. Who was your favorite teacher in the early years? Do you remember? We have a long list. We're going to thank them. We have to find them and thank them. If we don't find them, we're going to find their children and tell them. So we're talking about the teachers. If you're in sports, the person who trained you, who coached you. Those coaches, they impact people. Because they make you give your very best. If you are becoming lazy a little bit, they tend to be tough but loving. So did you have a coach? Okay. We put the teachers, some teachers, we put a coach. Now we are still young. You're still young. And if you are like the Ugandan standard, you are still at home maybe, you are not in boarding school. Now you go to boarding school. Boarding school is a very different experience. Remember when you first arrived in boarding school? For me, when I went to boarding school, those kids, they're not kids, they're young women. Those young women, they were teasing us. We had this suitcase that had wheels. At that time, everyone was carrying we had 2. We had the one, the Chibati one, the other one, and then we had the one rolling. Woo! They would roll it. The whole way of the dormitory, they would roll and ride it. And those kids, not kids, they're girls, like 15, 14, teasing. They did that. But who was good? Who was good to you when you first went to boarding school? Who was that person? Who was there for you? Maybe one of them teasing you. They were the kind ones. Do you remember? Okay, we'll have to find them. The good friends. Good friends. The good matrons. If you learn. What do they call them? Ones for men? Matron is for girls. And the one, they're called what? The one for men, for boys. Go find them. Someone who was good to you. I'm serious. We have to thank these people. We're going to find them. After that, the teachers in secondary school. Those are men. By the way, I'm speaking like I'm in Uganda because that's where I grew up. But, and it's weird because because people go to boarding schools. Here, I don't think there is these intimate relationships like that, like where you get to know people that close. Because children here stay home all the time. They go home. My parents, okay, good. Oh, Bruno. My beloved mother. Who's this one doing? Okay, my beloved mother, good. Some of you are lucky that you still have your mother. Please, when you finish this, and you know, this thanking is interesting. It makes more sense if you actually go and talk to the person. Okay, don't assume, don't make it like a group thing. Go talk to them and say, you know what, thank you, mom, for doing all this. Especially the mothers, they sacrifice a lot. They wake up at night. I remember growing up, the mothers, we took them for granted. Like our mom, we knew she never said no, right? So whatever you want, you just ask. Wake up in the night, I want to go pee. She comes. Like, she never said no. So those mothers are special. They deserve a special place. Janet, you deserve a special place. And those kids, some of them don't understand, especially the kids of today. They don't understand what their parents do, except to find what's wrong. Can you imagine being a single mother and you have your children? You go work 2 jobs just to be able to pay the rent and everything and give them whatever they need. And all they talk about is they don't see you. You see, our mother was never home. You see, can you imagine? They can't even understand that you want to provide. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on. They call them Generation Z. Z, is that what they call them? Seriously, young people, please. I don't think many young people are watching me. You need to change this attitude. So until you have your own children, that's when you're going to see the role of parents. The parents are working hard. They're sacrificing a lot. And you know what they say? Why do you have me? Who told you to have me? What? Ingratitude. And you see, when you're ungrateful like that, God will not bless you. Okay. We talked about, okay, you're now in these years, like 10, 12, 13, 14 there. Your friends, your special friends there. The good friends I talked about, people who are there for you. Especially if you're in a boarding school, there's someone who is there for you. When something didn't work and they gave their own, when the money is finished, the pocket money is finished, the grab, they used to call it grab, it's finished. Who gave you some? Crazy teens, yes. The crazy things, they never understand. So we are going through the gratitude list. Gratitude list. Anyone who helped. You know, times when the school fees maybe there's no money. Some people had to chip in. All those people who help, please find them. Find them and thank them. Now, we are out of school maybe. But if we went to the American side, the way the children experience life is a little bit different. So I could say, like I remember when my daughter went to college, driving that journey to just go see them. Okay, you drive non-stop. For me, it was hard. Others, they think it's easy. 3 hours non-stop. When you are driving non-stop, and then you get there and drive back, that's a lot of driving. So who was that person who came to check on you? If you are in Uganda, I skipped something, VD, visiting day. Who was that person who came and brought in something nice on VD? Yeah? Go thank them. Now, let's move on to those who are like done. We go to graduation. Okay, who was there? Graduation time, those people. Then, who helped you get your first job if you're working? Who helped you get your first job? All those people who welcomed you. You know, when you go to this place, like me when I went to Revenue Authority, for me it was very easy because I knew the people already when I went to do my first job. But if you go to work your first job and you go and they're all strangers, especially if it's a big place, who was the friend, that person, who welcomed you and was kind to you? Remember, we're going through the whole list. Like when your car broke down, who picked you up? When I first came here in America, it was very common. You know, there were no buses on the road, like you could take a bus. Either you called a taxi, which was expensive to take you, or you called a friend. So who is that friend you used to call when you needed to be picked up, taken somewhere? We have a long list. You say where we're going? And then we go to the mothers. We're upgrading now. Now you're an adult. I'm going to skip the wedding. You know the wedding, I won't say, oh, who helped you with the wedding? No. I don't value weddings. Weddings is fun. Whoever helped you with the wedding, it's up to you if you want to help them. Thank them. Let's move to when you had your first child. Who are the people who supported you? The doctors, the nurses at the hospital and at home. You know, when a woman just first had the baby, there's only one woman who surprised me in Uganda. She was telling me, she had so many kids. She was telling me how she did it by herself. She did everything by herself. And her husband was in the house on the other side, and she would go in the kitchen and have her baby. And I said, what? Without help. He did it. No. I'm talking about those who had help. The nurses, those people who left their place to come take care of you when you just had a baby. Go thank them. In fact, you need to tell, like you, Janet, tell the stories to your children. You say, you know what? When I first had you and my first baby, this is what happened. So and so came take care of you. For me, I tell those stories. Those people who helped when the children were young, tell them so they know. Okay, where are we now? How old are you? You went through having children. Where are you now? I'm not going to say when you're old age. We're not old yet. Who's taking care of you? Janet, where are we? After having children, who is helping? Like when the other day I'm here in USA, you know, we have challenges. Public schools, when you have public schools, the children go on a bus, right? But when you choose to take your child to a private school, you don't have private schools. They tend to be like Catholic schools or religious schools. So right now, here in our community, they created a Muslim school. Right now, they bought a university and transformed it into a school. So the lady posted in a Facebook group saying, I don't have a car. Okay, not I don't have a car. I'm not driving yet. I'm not driving yet. I'm wondering if anyone could help me take my children to school. You know, when I read that post, I said, really? And this person was not even trying to be kind, asking. They were like making it so easy. Can you imagine? If you are the one taking on the responsibility of picking up someone's children and dropping them off and picking them up and bringing them back, that's what she was asking. I said, wow. You know how big a job that one is? Sometimes most people, what they do, they carpool. They have a way to do it. Like we have 5 people. When one person goes, picks up all of them, then they have days. Like one on Monday, one does it on Tuesday. But for you to assume that someone who doesn't know you at all, you just put a message in the Facebook group and they can't pick up your children, I think it also could be careless, because someone who have bad intentions, they can't pick up your children and don't come back. Did she think about that? I think she didn't. She thought all people are good. You could hand them your children and they don't come back. They took them. Yeah, I saw that kind of post. So who helped with that kind of situation? Maybe your car broke down and someone helped you to take the children to school, pick them up. Yeah? I tell them often, you tell them that, okay, that's good. So where are we? Do we have anyone older? Should I continue on? Or we are just having children? Now that's where we are, right? The oldest is just having children. Because if you are older and now people are taking care of you, you have some people to thank. If you are now like grandma, grandpa, you can't move much, you have to ask those grandkids, go get me this, or your children, get me that. Other children, I think by the time you are old like that, you don't have young children, right? Assuming. Maybe you have old children, young children, but you are older. I don't know. But let's assume you are older, like the way I am. You know, I'm 56, I'm old, and someone is helping me around, like to bring this, or I ask them to go to the store and buy me something. I have to go thank them because they're doing something for me. And if you are very, very old, you happen to watch me, you are in the 80s, 70s, 80s, and people are helping you like more, please, 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 thank them. The reason I took time on this is to say, let's not wait until the people are gone. Let's not wait until the day they die, and then that's when we have to tell them. For me, I was lucky. My sister, although she stopped talking immediately, but we talked all the time. So she knew I was always grateful. We knew we had the conversation. Oprah used to call it, Oprah when she was talking to, I remember when Martin Luther King, the wife of Martin Luther King died here in USA. I remember the speech said that I gave her her flowers. I gave her my flowers. He said, she was trying to say that I already appreciated her. So for me and my sister, that's what it was. I didn't feel anything bad because we had already, the thanks had already happened okay? Because she was always like my mom growing up. So she was like my mom and my friend and everything, and my sister. So it was sad that she stopped talking just abruptly like that. She came home from work and just fell in the living room. They found her there, not speaking. So please don't wait for this kind of moments. Let's appreciate the people and tell them. So if you don't have these people close to you, you could give them a phone call. A phone call would do it. And be specific. Don't say, oh, thank you for everything. No. If you remember something they did, mention it. Remember that day? We didn't even talk about gifts. People who give gifts because some people maybe bought you clothing or do some shoes or people who do that. You can remind them, they could be surprised. Do you know when you give someone a gift, the person who receives the gift remembers it more than the person who gives it? For you, you'll be able to always remembering, oh, she gave me those shoes. But for them, they may forget that they even bought those shoes. So, remind them. Say, oh, thank you, you gave me that. I kept it. I like to keep things. When there's something I liked it so much, I keep it. But I have my daughter who says, why keep that for? I keep it for memory, to remember. If someone gave me something and I feel like that was a special moment, I keep it. Do you do that, Janet? Do you do that? Okay, I intended, this day I don't want to stay so long. Now, I'm going to give you a chance, all of you, please, please, please. Those of you who come and watch it later, remember to like it, remember to subscribe to my channel. Check it, let's check the channel. Are you subscribed? You know, they changed it, it's not red anymore, it's black. Please check it if you have not, you are watching and you're not subscribed. How come I see so many people on the side and they're not typing in the chat? Please type in the chat so I know who you are. If you don't come in the chat, that's why we come live, so I can know who you are. Don't worry, we're not gonna do, I won't say bad things. Let's see. I see many people on the sidelines, but they're not typing. Please type in the chat. Oh, it's doing, okay. Janet, okay. Time to pray for Malaysia. So I was about to wrap it up. Before you leave, can you put something in the chat for us, for me? Who is the most important person you have to thank? You have to thank. Put just one person. For those of you who come later, put just one person. You know what you could do? The next time they have like a birthday, assuming you celebrate birthdays, some people don't celebrate birthdays. Surprise them. Surprise them. Make it a tribute while they're still alive. Make it a tribute. All of you stand up. Janet, let them surprise you. Pray. Yeah, your mother? Okay. Okay. Kudos to your mother. Let her watch this video. That's for Janet's mother. Thank you so much. So go call her, tell her everything you remember. Or if you have to write a letter, write a letter. Letters are not common these days. Or you have to send her a message on WhatsApp and detail. Make it more specific. Don't say thank you for everything. List everything, list the things you remember. Okay, what they did for you. And I just made a suggestion. The next birthday, make it a surprise birthday, and all of you say something nice. By the way, say something nice to each other, because we all support each other. You see what I mean? You value each other. Let's value each other, and you're going to find that people are going to be very happy, because people like being recognized, being appreciated. So you do that. Let's do it to each other, okay? Thank you all so much for watching it. Those of you who come for attending, those of you who come later, please, when you watch this, add a comment for me. Who is the most important person you have to thank, and when are you going to do it? Do it now, before it's too late. Before it's too late. My sister, it happened just one day. She didn't die immediately. She died later, but she didn't speak. She couldn't speak. She had a stroke. Thank you all so much. Like it, share it with someone if you think this was useful. In the description below, there is a video where I discussed the importance of gratitude in more detail. Okay? Like I always end them, I say, take very good care of yourself, take very good care of your families, take very good care of your health. In the pinned comment, after it comes the video, I'm going to put something very important. It's called the Genie script. It's going to help you learn manifesting, like these things I was talking about, the things in the future, make them closer. Learn how the subconscious mind works to attract what you want. Thank you all so much. See, mom, they are recognizing in the chat. Thank you. Bye-bye. Share it.